Ready to roll?
Yeah. Good.
All right. Most exciting part of today. There's a lot of exciting parts, but one of the biggest ones was seeing the staff adjust with the intention to go in the stadium, and then we got hit with a little bit of a storm there that caused us to go inside. It was awesome to see how everybody adjusted and how our staff got everything set up in the indoor, and we went inside and had a really good scrimmage. There was a lot of it's good from a coaching standpoint, especially when you're in the middle of it, to see it go back and forth the way it did today. The defense making good plays, the offense making explosive plays, the offense scoring in a 2-minute drive today, working its way out of a backed up situation with an explosive run um, to get us out of there and create some field position and move the chains. It was good to see us connect on some deep balls, but we want to improve our efficiency there when we're taking those shots and handling those opportunities. As usual, Jonah kicked the ball well today, and excited about the way our operation and is coming along there. Excited to see the way all our special teams are coming together now. Being that this is our third full week, we've been able to get all our special teams installed, and we're getting quality work at those things. And the reason why that's important, not just to learn the scheme, but it's important to see some of those young players and how they're going to show up, how some of the older guys are going to lead on special teams, because that's when the whole team comes together and it shows the mentality and their attitude and focus towards that has been awesome. So it's good to see the progress. But we got a lot of work left to do in this last week. Each day is critical. Um, is we only have so many reps left, and then we put the pads on the shelf until August. So we'll take some questions from here.
You mentioned wanting to be a little more efficient on those deep shots. Did the defense do something today to kind of affect that and change up the way they're defending?
It was a combination. I mean, the secondary, the corners did a better job being in position in the final phase. Of some of those plays, and it comes down to giving the wide receivers a shot to go make a play on the ball.
Seems like Times Taylor's been a little more assertive at practice and trying to take on that role. What have you seen out of him, not only today but maybe up until this point today with Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's open to grow each and every day, and that's the cool part about it. The things that we do well, we still want to grow on from practice to practice. The things we got to do better at. He's all ears. His care factor's through the roof, and just keeping him, um, as we all know, is a young quarterback still with a lot of experience from last year, but with plenty of opportunity to continue to grow, keeping him focused on the simple things that are going to allow him to move forward.
What you see out of him today as things kind of got live there for a little bit for you guys?
Sorry, Seth.
What you see out of him today as things obviously were live for you guys for a little bit?
Yeah, no, he definitely made some good throws. Again, led us on the 2-minute drive before the half. Had some explosive plays on the 2-minute drive, and connected with Matt Lauder, in the end zone for a pretty nice catch there. And that was exciting to see him operate. It's probably one of his best 2-minute drives that he's had.
I know defensively some key guys are out this spring, but in general, just trying to replace some of the guys you lost last year. How do you feel the defense is coming along?
Good. You know what the best part is all these young guys are getting reps, and that we're banking experience. The more reps they're getting now, even with some of the experience we do have coming back that's maybe not taking the team reps right now, the positive side of that is the younger guys are getting those reps. And that I mean, shoot, those guys are going to be so much better when we come back in the summertime, and where we pick up from there, we're going to be so much further along.
How physical are these? And today's physicality maybe meet your level of expectations?
You know what it did? We actually ended up in a few short yardage situations, both in the open field and a third and short, and then a fourth and short, a third and short, couple third and shorts. The offense converted, and then a fourth and short where the defense made a play in the backfield and stood up a running back, and it was exciting to see. So that's where I say going back and forth. There ended up being a couple goal line situations too, which in most cases in games that's maybe 5% of what you get if it's not scripted, and it was good to get some of that work in naturally today and see the physicality at the goal line.
Offensively, what have you liked what you've seen from Bush and just the way his philosophy and what he wants to do kind of meshes with what you have here?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it from number one, there's a mentality that we're continuing to build off from last year. Um, Explosive plays start at the line of scrimmage, and from there it's about getting the ball, getting the ball in the right people's hands, and we're doing that. We're spreading the ball around, whether it's different guys out of the backfield. When you look at the list of wide receivers that caught the ball today, I mean, it's every position that caught the ball today, and there's probably 10 guys on this list that had receptions, and that's cool to see because that makes a defense defend everything.
You mentioned the deep balls. Who were some guys that stuck out in the deep passing?
Yeah, so Steph had a nice deep ball today, and Prince had a long reception today on a double move that was nice to see. Him run the route and the quarterback connect with him that he finished in the end zone. We talked about Louder's play in the 2-minute play. Those were some pretty glaring plays.
Prince obviously wasn't here last year. You just see him on the practice field.
Mhm.
The dude stands out.
Yeah.
What have you liked about him this spring?
His work ethic by far. I mean, he's doing good things on the field. He's been productive. Today he was productive. He had 4 catches today, and it obviously it raised his the yardage, his receiving yards and his average with the long one. But the biggest thing about him is I just love his work ethic, who he is, how he shows up here every day, and for a young guy. He wants to learn and grow, and again, it comes down to the care factor about the things that we need to do to find our way and to immerse ourselves, into this brotherhood and go attack, and he's doing that.
How'd you rush the passer today compared to scrimmage number 1?
I was excited. Again, it went back and forth. There was some really good pressure, but it was much cleaner from the protection standpoint, and that's an emphasis of this last week. Obviously, with the young O-line, and now it's how we go watch this film and where we grow forward from here. So again, in the run game, we made improvements from the offensive side of the ball on our, more of our interior run schemes, and we protected the quarterbacks better.
Where is Ashton at this point? Obviously, he finished strong last year, and you know what he can do. I mean, how do you kind of look to take that next step?
Yeah, he had a good scrimmage today. He had a couple impressive runs. He had some physical runs, as he always does. He had a nice run. We were backed up, and he had, a 15, 20-yard run when we were backed up down on the goal line to get us out of there, and then had another pretty nice run out on the perimeter where he hurdled someone and jumped over the top of someone. It was pretty explosive.
How do you envision him and George being used? And James was kind of not joking, but kind of saying maybe both those guys can be out there together. There's so many different things you can do with those two. I mean, that's got to be a nice problem to have, I guess, how you use those two.
Yeah, in this game, you got to have 2 running backs, if not 3. I mean, it's a long season, and it's a physical a game, and obviously we got some physical runners. And so, I mean, it's like the D line, right? You got to have a 2 deep that you can, roll in and out of there like it's a line change in hockey. It's no different at the running back position. We got to have multiple guys that are extremely explosive, and we're excited about that room and how they're growing, how they're working together. And not only that, the pride they take in protecting the quarterback too, in the way the most of them can work out of the backfield and catch the ball and do some stuff.
How about those backers, Andy? I mean, probably a lot of young guys get a chance
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get on the field quite a bit this spring.
The linebacker reps are, gosh, those are so valuable. To play at that position is a lot like being the quarterback. You got the front, you got the secondary behind you. There's a lot of communication. There's fits in the run game that happen quick. There's pass game stuff. And so them getting the reps at not only helping run the defense, but becoming more and more disciplined with their fits. And to play linebacker here is not only about stopping the run, but you got to be a good blitzer, and you got to be able to play in coverage.
Whether it's Misa or Simpson, does anybody stand out to you kind of back there making a big jump this spring?
You know what? Those 2 guys are doing a nice job. They're getting the majority of the reps. With the first team right now, they are very capable players that are again gaining a lot of experience of running it. And they're 2 young guys out there. It's different when there's 2 young guys out there and they got to run it all by themselves. It's different if you're in there with DJ Schramm and he's taking control and running the show. When it's those 2 in there, nope. That's the experience we're talking about because they got to handle everything. And again, at that position is about getting everybody lined up and making sure we're playing, all 11 as one.
You seemed excited about the center position. A lot of opportunities for kids to step up there. What did you see out of?
They played better today. The center position played way better today. I locked in on that. Again, over the course of the week, there were certain things that we wanted to improve on up front on the offensive line. And it all starts with those guys, and they did a much better job with their communication today, their efficiency, and therefore how everybody operated, handling their assignments. And now it's how we grow forward. It's all gas, no brakes on that now. We don't have time to take 2 steps forward and go 1 step back. We got to keep moving forward.
You mentioned DJ. Given how much turnover you've had on defense this year, how important was it to get him back this year and make sure he was there to help those young linebackers?
Well, DJ came up big today. He had a big rep in the competition out there in the little break we had. he hit a sand wedge about 50 yards into the middle of a ring and won a competition for the defense. So he had a big play today. But overall, DJ's like having a coach on the field, not only from his ability to make plays, but from the standpoint of how he can lead and operate. His leadership goes beyond the field. He's one of the best leaders we have on this team. He's extremely consistent, even with a guy that's not doing much right now, and he is on his return to play plan. He is still impactful because of the type of leader he is.
I know there was a release about it, but just to ask you specifically, your new director of football
Yeah.
operations. What's your guys' connection? How did you know her, and how was she here today?
You know what? Through mutual friends, we got her by reference, and then as we were going through that process of talking with multiple people and bringing multiple people on campus to find the right fit. Hi, DJ. Nice shot today, bud. We are very fortunate to make the connection and come in contact in all the roles in the building, whether it's staff, whether it's players. It's recruiting, right? And it's recruiting the right people that have a certain skill set to fulfill a role, but also, have the mentality and relational skills to be able to come in here and help lead. That's a very impactful role in this building. And we put her to work today with the weather and moving from outside to inside. Again, there was a lot of operations going on at today's practice, which gave us as a staff plenty of reps on things that we can work at to grow us closer together.
Tyler Wiegis physically looks the part of an elite pass rusher. What have you learned about him this spring?
You know what? He's done a nice job. He's grown tremendously since he's come here. He's very coachable. He has a passion. You know what? Not only is he's a talented pass rusher, but I mean, he's a guy that can stop the run, and it's important to him to stop the run. He's played pretty physical. Earlier in this week, we had a goal line period, and he had some really impressive plays on the goal line in terms of how he reestablished the line of scrimmage and was in the backfield. So, he's showing some things that we are really excited about.
How are the special teams looking?
Good. Like we were talking, we've got them all in now. And so, in our preparation for the spring game, it all starts with the specialists, and their operation of how we're doing things. And then obviously how DeMario's leading within the meetings and how we all back him up and follow through and on our responsibilities. And I love the passion that's going into the special teams right now from the staff into the players. The players really care about it. And again, it's because of how detailed DeMario has been and the energy that he brings to the special teams.
Is each coach still taking one aspect of that?
No. DeMario handles most of it. Matt Miller has a team. He has a kickoff return team. But DeMario handles the rest as we all are like position coaches and have all our responsibilities within each team. Cool.